WKBN, TV 27, Youngstown. And now, Tom Holden, Bridget Mahoney, Don Guthrie with weather, and Jim Campbell on sports. This is the Newswatch at 11.
Good evening. It was only a matter of time. Up until tonight, we had dodged the full wrath of Mother Nature.
That, however, all changed shortly after 6 o'clock tonight when the snow started blowing and the roads started icing. Area police have been handling numerous fender benders, and it's taking drivers at least double the amount of time to get home. ODOT crews have been out in full force tonight. So far, no serious accidents have occurred. Well, at 6, we thought we'd get about 2 inches of snow. That's what you told us, Gare.
Looks like we're going to get a lot more. What's going on?
Well, the National Weather Service sometime this evening did upgrade that from 2 to 4 now to 4 to 6 inches. And all kidding aside, it is fairly treacherous out there if you're doing some driving. The crews haven't had a chance to get out yet and do much cleaning, and so traffic is moving pretty slow. Let's take a look at a current radar picture, and you can see where most of the moisture is falling now. That whole system is moving to its east, or to the east, and it will continue to do so tonight. So there is some end in sight for all of this, but you can see particularly down south of Pittsburgh there are some level 2 showers falling. But all of northeastern Ohio, it is snowing tonight. There's about probably 2 inches of snow on the ground at the Weather Service. Here's what we are looking for tonight. Now, a winter storm warning is in effect. 4 to 6 inches of snow likely before morning, and driving is pretty hazardous out there. If everybody pays attention and drives carefully and doesn't try to hurry up, we should get through this without any trouble, and I'll be back in a few minutes with some more.
Okay, thanks a lot, Gary. We'll be checking back in with you in a little bit. In other news tonight, an upheaval in the Campbell school system. The board voted 3-2 not to renew school superintendent Matthew Bozik's contract when it expires next summer. As Gina Marinelli reports, the board won't go into the reasons behind their actions.
Close to 200 parents, students, and employees came to the Campbell Memorial High School cafeteria to support embattled Superintendent Matthew Bozik. 3 members of the board voted not to renew his contract when it expires in July.
I expected more from Mr. Bozik, and I didn't see more coming from Mr. Bozik.
If we feel at the contract time that someone else may be more suitable, then it is our duty to look elsewhere.
Bozik's supporters were many and very vocal.
If that man is so bad, all 5 should be against him.
But the board vote was not unanimous. 2 board members pointed out Bozik's accomplishments and said the board was making a mistake.
I believe we are losing one of the finest superintendents in this area and one of the finest that we've had in the Campbell school system.
One reason, according to the board, is the superintendent's failure to meet a deadline in getting a $13 million school levy on the ballot. But the board is keeping mum on its other reasons. They admitted to the jeering crowd that they erred in not evaluating Bozik's performance earlier, as board policy dictates.
The board maintains the vote is only an intent not to renew the superintendent's contract. They'll still have 60 days in order to change their minds.
Bozik talked to reporters briefly about his future plans.
I'm most likely to say definitely I will go back to the classroom. Are you bitter? No.
The board plans to begin the search for a new superintendent in several months. For Newswatch 27, I'm Gina Marinelli.
After weeks of bickering, Hubbard City Council has finally ratified a 3-year contract with its union workers. Council was originally opposed to the issue that would give workers a choice to either take off on a designated holiday or when it was convenient. The floating holiday affects President's Day, Martin Luther King Day, and Columbus Day.
A stagnant population is forcing Ohio and Pennsylvania to give up 2 congressional seats each. Census figures show the 2 states saw very little population growth over the last 10 years, so the 17th congressional district could get redrawn, and that's bad news for Congressman Jim Traficant and the Valley, too.
The loss for this community is if this area is divided up and put into other districts. It would be in our interest to see that the core of this district is retained.
So Dr. Binning is suggesting that bipartisan support will prevent merging with another district.
The year is ending on a sour economic note. A report today revealed a huge drop in the manufacture of big-ticket items in the U.S. And to make matters worse, for the Bush administration, a member of the Joint Economic Committee of Congress today spoke the word that official Washington never wants to say, recession.
Since the congressional budget agreement,
Washington likes to avoid the use of that word, but it strikes me that when the data are all in, we will in fact have a recession. The pain is already obvious to any politician out among the people.
The committee said this recession is unlike others because the nation's financial institutions are shaky. Banks, insurance companies, and pension funds are loaded down with bad loans. Giant corporations are deep in debt. Some say that may be the real danger.
We have the worst financial backdrop